Yep, all here. You know, when I was a young chef coming up, my mom always used to say, Nick, never stick your head straight in the oven. And I think that's advice that would serve me well today. But today, we're going to make one of my absolute most favorite dishes, and that is roasted whole chicken with an apple brandy and sage glaze. It's going to be delicious. Stay tuned. I'm Nicholas Ayers, a local insurance expert. My passion is food. Mouth-watering, succulent food. I've combined my passion for tasty meats, rich sauces, and decadent flavors with serving the restaurateurs who make them. Offering a buffet of insurance options so good, you'd think they were James Beard Award recipients. From fast food to fine dining, coffee shops to Irish pubs, and everything in between, I'm on a journey to find the very best for my clients' taste buds. I am the Insurance Chef. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Insurance Chef. I'm Nicholas Ayers, your insurance chef. Now, I really like chicken for two main reasons. Number one, chicken is so universal. It's really a great piece of meat that you can do a number of different things with. You can fry it, you can bake it, you can broil it, you can grill it, you can smoke it. You can do all kinds of different things, especially with the flavors. You can make it sweet, spicy. It's really a nice, universal piece of meat. The other thing that I particularly like about chicken is that whole chicken is generally pretty inexpensive. You can pick up a nice whole chicken for right around $10 or give or take, and you can butcher that thing up and you can really serve a really nice meal for a very inexpensive cost. So we have our two chickens here that are going to be roasting, and it's imperative that whenever you cook poultry, whether it is turkey on Thanksgiving or chicken on a Saturday night, whenever you cook chicken, make sure you go through the extra step. It's a little bit more laborious, but it pays off in the end, that you brine your birds. Brining is imperative. It allows the moisture to get more into the meat, and it's just delicious. These birds have been brined over a course of 12 to 13 hours in just a real basic saltwater solution, some peppercorns and a couple bay leaves. It just gives it a touch more flavor, but more importantly, it allows the moisture to get into the meat. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just kind of put our finger underneath the skin here, and we're just going to kind of gently separate this. I really want to do this because I want to get a little bit more seasoning and flavor into these birds. I'm going to do it on both sides here, and you're just going to see what we're going to do. We're going to put some of our seasoning into this bird underneath the skin. So now we're ready to rub our meat and our chicken with some seasoning. I have just a really basic mixture here of dry herbs and some olive oil. There's a little bit of rosemary, some thyme, oregano. There's even a touch of dried shallots and garlic, and some other secret things that the insurance chef is not really at liberty to say, but trust me, when it goes onto this bird and comes out of the oven, it's gonna be dynamite. Now that our chicken's done, we're going to go ahead and pop this in the oven. We're going to put it in at a very high heat of 450 degrees for roughly 20 minutes. And then we're going to crank the bad boy down to 400 degrees and let it kind of cook in its own juices and flavors and let that meat kind of come to temperature. Let's put it in. Now onto the glaze for our chicken. And like most glazes, you want to keep the ingredients very simple. It doesn't take much to make yourself a great sauce or glaze that's going to go over the top of this or anything else that takes it to the next level. It starts with some really basic ingredients that you can pick up in any grocery store. Those ingredients being just a regular jar of apple jelly and some apple brandy that when you mix the two together, it just gives you just a rich, decadent, succulent flavor that just takes that chicken to the next level. Let's get started. So for our glaze, we want to start off with just about a half a cup of regular apple jam. I'll just kind of pour some of this in. And what this is going to do is this is going to give us the sugar content that when it gets over the high heat, it's going to start to caramelize. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pour in a little bit of apple brandy. When I say a little bit, I mean, well, you get the idea of what a little bit is. We're gonna kind of let this reduce down a little bit. We're gonna stir it up. You've probably guessed by now that I'm not a real chef. I just play one on the internet. What I am an insurance expert who is passionate about delivering results to those of you in the food industry. I'd like you to think of this chicken like you would your restaurant general liability policy. Sure, I could have put some salt and pepper or maybe a few basic seasonings on it and it would have been okay, but it's this glaze that's really going to take it to the next level of deliciousness. You know, the same can be said of your restaurant policy. It might have enough to be okay, but what you really need to consider is the idea of adding an extra layer or glaze of insurance in the way of a restaurant umbrella policy. You see, like this glaze, the umbrella policy goes over the top to make sure that what you have is going to protect you in case of disaster. Don't allow your current policy to stiff you on the coverage. Make your reservation with the insurance chef today to discuss your restaurant umbrella coverage.